Hi everyone, welcome back to our series Is the Gaming Sector Green? Today, in the second part, we are going to talk about some initiative in the world and video games that highlight environmental issues and want to make a positive impact. Let's find out. Don't forget to subscribe to our different social media to stay updated about EKO-Energy works and EKOpixel campaign. In the previous video, the gaming sector background was not so eco-friendly, especially if we talk about energy, for example, or the complexity of this ecosystem supply chain. But don't be pessimistic. There are a lot of different things happening in this sector that engage the gaming industry in the fight against climate change, such as our campaign EKOpixel. First, initiatives. Playing for the Planet is a UN initiative created in 2019 at the headquarters in New York. Numerous gaming companies have joined the Playing for the Planet Alliance, and in doing so, have committed to offsetting their emissions, reducing their corporate carbon footprint, and inserting green nudges in the games. Then, Games for Change, created in 2004, is a series of events and projects that aim to make a social impact through gaming. They teamed with Polar Partnership and Autodesk Foundation to create the G4C Climate Challenge. Game designers were challenged to produce games that help players understand their role in addressing climate change. Finally, Play Create Green is the shell creation of 40 Nordic game companies hoping to address climate change. Members of Play Create Green use their platform to spread awareness of climate change in the gaming industry. They target all categories of the game development value chain to reduce negative impact. These are but a few initiatives enacted to tackle the heavy burden the video game industry has on the environment. Then, what's happened on the video game creation side? Here are some key dates running from the early 90s to the end of the 2010s. In 1990, SimEarth, a live simulation game designed by Will Wright, was published, based on 90s scientific theory postulating that the Earth functions as a self-regulating system, known as the Gaia hypothesis. The aim of this game is to control the development of a planet. Incorporating global warming parameters, SimEarth linked gameplay and direct positive or negative impact on the environment, even if it's not in an engaging way or purpose. Then Final Fantasy VII, one of the most significant video games of the decade, was released in 1997. As a member of a small group of people attempting to save the planet from a massive energy company intent on destroying it for profit, the player was immersed in environmental issues, particularly global warming also. As with the Echo the Dolphin, for example, this issue serves the storyline above all else. In this must-play game from one of the most important video games franchises, one phrase will live on in legend: the planet is dying. At the beginning of the century, video games exposing environmental issues through the scenery disappeared, or used as a shadow behind anti-heroic video games gameplay. It was not until the emergence of a new branch of video games, called the serious games, that environmental issues reappeared in a serious manner and became central to gameplay. Serious games are games whose primary objective is learning or practicing a skill. Ecoville is a good example of that. It's an eco-friendly city-building game developed by the French Environment and Energy Management Agency, called the ADEME, in 2010. The objective, according to the ADEME, build an eco-city of 50,000 inhabitants, at least, and has to respect Kyoto agreements. In the last decade, real green games have emerged, developed mainly by the independent video game scene. For example, Botanicula, a creation of Czech studio Amenity Design. In Botanicula, we play as 5 little characters whose goal is to save the tree from a terrible attack. This acclaimed game is full of messages about protecting the environment while allowing the gamer to immerse themselves in and marvel at this world that is so small to us but so big to our planet. Finally, we would like to mention the game EKO, developed by the US independent studio Strange Loop Games. This online multiplayer simulation game aims to have players cooperate in building a civilization on a virtual planet while trying to save it from the impact of an impending meteorite. In this game, the gameplay and the scenario are focused on various contemporary environmental issues, such as resource sharing, direct and indirect impacts of our action on the collective, policy's power and impacts, etc. Well, on the bright side, these games and initiatives were able to make an impact. Demand for a green gaming sector continues to gain momentum. Players are more conscious of how their contribution to this industry may indirectly fund companies with a large carbon footprint. In turn, companies want to do more to make a positive change for their consumers. EKOenergy strives to support companies and gamers who want to make the green choice. We'll talk about it in the next and final video of this series. Thank you for listening to us. Don't hesitate to reach out. To learn more about EKOenergy and to hear updates about our campaign, follow our socials. See you soon for the last part of this video series. Stay tuned.